The New Haven Advocate rates restaurants on a 5-star scale, 5 stars being the best. The Quinnipiac Reader rates restaurants on a 7-point Q scale, 7 being the best. The New Haven Advocate gave Pizza Heaven a 3-star rating, while the Quinnipiac Reader gave Pizza Heaven a 4.5 Q rating. Historically, the New Haven Advocate gives an average rating of 2.78 with a standard deviation of 1.12, while the Quinnipiac Reader gives an average rating of 4.08 with a standard deviation of 1.93. Which newspaper gave Pizza Heaven a better rating, and why? So this question is asking us to compare things that aren't directly comparable. We know that the New Haven Advocate gave Pizza Heaven a 3-star rating, while the Quinnipiac Reader gave Pizza Heaven a 4.5 Q rating. So clearly the Quinnipiac Reader Q rating is higher in an absolute sense. 4.5 is higher than 3, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the Quinnipiac Reader was more impressed, because their high score is a 7. So this is a rating out of 7, while the New Haven Advocate is only rating out of 5. So we have to use this extra information about how the newspapers historically rate. So we'll collect that information in a table down here. So historical rating means we have the population mean and the population standard deviation. So for the New Haven Advocate, we have an average rating of 278 with a standard deviation of 112. So 2.78, 1.12, and Quinnipiac Reader has an average of 4.08. So the Quinnipiac Reader 4.08 average with a 1.93 standard deviation. Now the ratings that they gave Pizza Heaven were 3 and 4.5. So 3 and 4.5. And comparing that to the average, you can see that both newspapers felt that Pizza Heaven was a better than average. Got a 3 as opposed to a 2.78 average, and 4.5 compared to a 4.08 average. So how far above average was each rating? That will tell us who is more impressed. So that is the deviation measured in standard deviations. So we'll compute for the New Haven Advocate. The New Haven Advocate gave a score of 3 minus 2.78. That's how high above average. We divide that by the standard deviation, and we will get 3 minus 2.78 divided by 1.12, approximately 0.196. So they felt that the Pizza Heaven was 0.196 standard deviations above average, while the Quinnipiac Reader had a deviation, or number of stars. This is the Q rating. The Q rating was 4.5 minus 4.08. That's how far above average. Divided by its standard deviation, we have 4.5 minus 4.08 divided by 1.93. Or approximately 0.218. So now we can compare directly these two numbers. This is how many standard deviations above average the New Haven Advocate thought Pizza Heaven was, and this is how many standard deviations above average the Quinnipiac Reader thought Pizza Haven was. So since this number is higher, the Quinnipiac Reader was more impressed. So we have the Quinnipiac Reader was more impressed because they gave a rating that was more standard deviations above the average.